Hey, happy Saturday. All right, happy Saturday. So me and Julian were over here just having a little sidebar conversation, but it's time for us to go live. So welcome everybody. I'm Latoya and
It's
you are
Julian. Yeah,
Julian. And we're on Trending Trucking News. Thank y'all for joining us. We always got to tell you to hit that like and subscribe button. Yes, yes. Also, want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Trucker Job USA, where you can find all of the latest all of the latest topics on trucking news. Also, if you're looking for work and you are a truck driver looking to get in the CDL world, you can definitely go check them out. Have some great things available for you. One thing I did not mention, if you sign up on truckerjobsusa.com, this is totally free. So you have access to free job boards with positions that have some of the biggest retailers in the United States to move freight. So it's definitely good some opportunities available for you. If you are a trucking company and you're looking for a driver, you can definitely get access to a world of drivers that we have available, professionals, all different type of experience levels. So without further ado, we've already introduced ourselves. We're going to go ahead and get into this news.
definitely.
Trending
So,
topic.
yeah, trending topics, right?
Yes,
Trending
yes.
topics. Yeah. So look at this. Female truckers group alleged Facebook ad system is discriminatory. I mean, listen. Let's read it. Let's get into the ad right quick because I'm very I got an opinion on this one, no doubt.
Are we surprised?
I'm sorry.
Are we surprised?
Hey, an advocacy group representing female truckers filed a complaint Thursday with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the EEOC, right? Alleging Facebook's parent company, Meta. Listen, he talking about metaverse. We haven't seen a metaverse yet, right? I mean,
What if
have you
we're
been
in
to
it?
the metaverse? No.
I think we're already in it. We just don't know
We probably are, right? It's steering ads for lucrative jobs away from women and older workers based on the type of role. Real Women in Trucking alleges in the new complaint that the underlying algorithm powering the social media giant ad system is far more likely to show ads promoting jobs in certain blue collar professions such as trucking, firefighting, manufacturing, construction to men. Listen, I got a problem with this, and I'll explain why.
it. Okay.
Because if you really think about these professions, they're own, overwhelmingly, this is men. Men are in these professions. So I would like to know, how did they pull this data? How did they come up with this? Because again, if the majority of people in these professions are males, then I'm not sure how they're saying, hey, you're showing the majority of the ads to males. It's like, yeah, because that's the numbers, you know?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too as you were reading it. Like, how did they, because if I'm a female, mind my business, I'm looking for work.
Right,
What
right,
would probe me to think that something wasn't coming towards me when it comes to work
right.
that I would think that it was going to someone else? How do we even start that kind of investigation?
I mean, maybe their husband seen, they're both on their trend, their ads, their feeds,
Right.
and the husband is getting advertisements that she's not getting. I mean, that's a very interesting question. And also, Facebook had already got into hot trouble, what, 2019, especially with the real estate thing, because they were claiming that it was discriminating against minorities by targeting certain people for certain houses and certain developments. So Facebook, man, listen, they've already locked down their advertisement system versus when it was, because back in the day it was wide open. You could target things that you should not have been able to target for, such as credit cards, monthly income, kids, where your spouse may work. I mean, it was ridiculous, but now they locked it down. So it says similarly, Facebook is more likely to show ads to female users for roles historically considered to be women's work, such as housekeeping, home care, child care. The complaint alleges. Now, when you think about this, there has to be some type of inside information, because how do they know this?
How did they know?
Unless they're running ads themselves. But if you're running an ad yourself, how would you know if it's
Who's it
maybe they're
going
saying, hey, we took our own money and we spent it, and it was targeting more females, but wouldn't more females be in that line of work?
So I
Home
want,
care, child care, and housekeeping than a man. So I think Facebook can actually beat this one, but they have so much money that they might just settle and just say, hey man, just get out of here, you know?
yeah, I mean, the fact that they even have an article on it, so it has touched some type of it's hidden media outlets, and of course, when you have big names like Facebook and something going on with discrimination, it's
Right.
probably going to hit a headline. So, I'll say this: we're in the world today where I feel like there's a lot of sensitivity going on. That's one thing, right?
Mhm.
So you have these things where I guess uh to be a woman or to be a man, like what defines roles and all of this stuff. And I agree that there's certain things that put it this way, like you made the statement of home care and child care and things like that. More
Right.
likely a woman would do that. Some
Right.
women might find that offensive, and I would say that, well, we have to have some clear line to say, hey, it's nothing wrong to say that women are more likely caretakers because we are
Right.
mothers, you know what I mean? So these people, to it, it's a thin line, but if jobs that are blue collar, we know that these are predominantly male industries, that it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that there's probably more male truck drivers than it is female truck drivers. So I would expect that a company would use that data to their advantage. And it's
Right.
nothing wrong with them marketing to the group of individuals that are more likely to do that type of position. That doesn't mean women that you should not. So, but is there an underlying issue with maybe women do want to get in this industry and they should just market it the same way across the board? Um, I don't know. I don't think so
Well,
though.
wouldn't you think that would be kind of dumb in a sense? Because think about it, the stats are, and the trucking company should know this. Well, Facebook doesn't, but the stats show that female drivers are less likely to take risks, meaning accidents and all these rollovers, or have a manslaughter, or have a homicide while driving.
Mhm.
So female drivers are essentially what you would want as far as safety reasons, right? They're safer than male drivers. So, if this is even true, then it seems like Facebook will be doing the trucking industry, a disservice. And I'm pretty sure there's not a trucking company that went to Facebook and said, "Hey, man, I prefer for you to send me only males." I mean, I'm pretty sure they did because it's an algorithm. Number one is number two, and it could have, right? But I doubt it. I think this is a situation where people are seeing, looking into something, and they're actually they're seeing what they're looking for,
True, true indeed. If you look, you shall find. You definitely shall find. And they're trying to use that data against Facebook, but they ain't making no noise for real.
Right, right. So yeah, I don't agree with this article at all. From the Washington Post, because it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, again, when's the last time that you hired a male housekeeper, or when's the last time you hired a male babysitter? When is the last time you've done that? And that's the issue that I have with this article, saying these ads are normally targeted towards women. It's like, well, when the last time you seen a man coming to your house and cleaning it up?
Right. I mean, again,
You know?
I don't agree with if they are purposely not doing it towards
Right,
women, but I think I don't believe it's that. I believe it's more so they're looking at what's going to be most beneficial for us to get the outcome that we want. We want drivers, and mainly men do this. So let's, push it that way. But you never know.
right, right.
And they went to the EEOC. I
They
mean, you
want
can go to the EEOC with any kind of
anything,
complaint.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So just because this hit the headlines, it could really be frivolous.
You need to go to the EOC, because who are they? What do they do? Your tax
Yeah,
money is going right. You just got these people off the seat so they can go out into the real world and actually do something. I mean, let's be honest about this, because they'll say, "Hey, your taxes are going to this and that and this." You never see these people. You never meet these people. It's like, what do they do? What are they doing?
I've written them a couple of times with being feeling discriminated against in employment scenarios. I
Right.
never. yeah, it never panned out in my favor
It's
though. So
right. You dig. Right. And I mean, you think about it, it seems like they will have the most muscle out of anybody. Like if you're working a crappy job and you call the EOC, it seems like this is the government. They're coming down, they're about to flex that muscle. And it's just like,
right.
you know what? We're a work the right state, meaning that we can terminate you at any time. It's like, well, what's the point of the
What is
EOC?
the point? And
Right.
I'm in one of those states, Virginia, where they do that. So yeah,
Right.
they not no.
Yeah, so right, it's not helping. All right. So, next article, why America's railroads refuse to give their workers paid leave. Now, the only reason we're talking about this is because this affects the trucking industry. No doubt about it. Because a lot of the freight intermodal comes through the railroad. It comes
Yeah,
off the rail yard. So with that being said, you have workers that were literally saying, "Hey, we're quitting. We're done. We're gonna leave because they're not getting workers paid leave." I mean, and it's over sick time. So when you think about this is pretty sad.
it
We live in the most advanced, richest country in the world, right? But we take the least amount of vacation time. This is proven fact. Americans take
right.
the least amount of vacation time and sick time in the world, but we live in the richest nation. That
Uh,
does that doesn't sound right, right?
no, it doesn't at all. So are you saying that these people don't um if you don't work, you don't eat, basically. They don't it's none of that.
Right.
No sick time either. Let's read this article.
Yeah, yeah. For months, the world's largest economy, we're not going to do it all, but the world's largest economy has been teetering on the brink of collapse because America's latter day robbers baron can't comprehend that workers sometimes get sick. So true. Or so the behavior of major US rail companies seem to suggest. Since last winter, railroad unions and the managers of America's seven dominant freight rail carriers have been struggling to come to an agreement on a new contract. That's very interesting. So there's seven dominant, sounds like seven monopolies. The
There you
key points of contention in those talks have been scheduling in general and provision of paid leave in particular. Unlike nearly 80% of the US laborers, railroad employees are not currently guaranteed a single paid sick day. We got to talk about it.
go. Oh
Toy, what
no.
do you think about it? You
Oh
you
my
don't even get a day of sick pay. Are you serious? See,
no.
this is not even human. But go ahead, Toy.
Well, it's not. I mean, before getting into the whole trucking industry, I remember as a kid seeing the railroads and all of that stuff. Where I came from was very rural, so we had a lot of trains and stuff. And I didn't think that commodities, or even at the time, I wouldn't even know what the word commodity was. But as you get older and you live life, and then of course we got into this trucking industry, seeing how much we rely on the intermodal
Right.
services. So to think that these people that are working at this space in this space, they don't get any vacation time. Listen, we're
Well, no,
self
it said no sick time. No
no
sick
sick
time.
time, right? It
Right.
makes no sense. Now,
No.
you and I, we're self-employed, so we
Self-employed. Right.
work for anybody. And being in this type of position, I think it allowed me to really see how my body now tells me when I need time off. So
Right.
this whole thing about working 40 hours a week, uh, 5 days a week, 4 weeks out of the month, no, that the body, not just physically, your body shouldn't be doing that. So we're not even gonna talk about the mental strain. So the working conditions alone for someone who's even getting 2 weeks vacation time out of the year is ridiculous to me. So to not give these people anything at all, you're basically trying to kill these people. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, the
No,
death
very true. And that's the problem. We have forgot how to be human. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. If it was up to me, and if I was president or whatever, something like that, there is no way. If you are a W-2 employee, it will be law. You will get, oh, yeah, there's no, what do you mean? Let me tell you something right now.
Get out of here with that.
Right. How in the world can somebody work at a job and the person gets sick, and it's like, oh, you have to use your vacation time because that's what they're doing.
Right.
That's what they're doing. They're saying, yeah, you use your vacation for your sick. No, you use your sick for your sick and use your vacation for your vacation. But
I
that's
think
the problem in America, greed. And see, I am a capitalist. I consider myself a conscious capitalist, a good capitalist, but I don't believe in slaving people out because that's what that is at the end of the day. If you cannot give somebody one sick day a year, what does that say about you? You know, and that's the problem in our country that we have, and you know, it was the invention of agriculture because once we had agriculture and we had refrigerators and everything, people were no longer nomadic. So we was in one area. So then that's how the metropolitans and everything started to become established. But before then, you couldn't control humans. We was all over the place. We was all over the place. You couldn't control us, and we were never meant to be controlled.
no.
Humans are not meant to be controlled. There is no human that is meant to. You get zero sick time, and that's it. You don't. And the human's gonna say, okay, that's a great deal. There is nobody who started that job and said this is a great deal. I'm gonna call my brother and tell him to come sign up for this vacation plan that we have. No, man.
And they got a union. Did you say? I think I heard you say that
Yeah,
they
it's a
got.
union. They're fighting. Yeah,
How
they
is that
fight.
even ethical, like law wise? I don't get it. And if I'm seeing
Yeah.
numbers like $2 billion, now that sister says it costs the U.S. Even the fact that I didn't read the whole sentence, but the fact that it's mentioning $2 billion
Right.
in reference to the rail yard, that means that y'all playing around with $2 billion, or that's in your vicinity. So if we're
Right.
even talking that kind of money is coming
No,
toward,
what they're saying, a single day without functioning freight rail would cost the U.S. economy an estimated $2 billion. So if these people do not work, the economy will get hit for $2 billion per day. Can
per
you
day.
imagine?
And
Per
that's what.
day.
So if you're working with that kind of money per day on a loss,
Right.
what's your name?
What?
And
Right.
if you getting that kind of money on a game, you got money to
Oh,
pay
they
for
got
these
plenty of money.
people.
They got plenty of money.
Cut
Right.
it out.
It's
We're
just
done.
greed. It is just simple greed. And this is the only thing that can destroy America is America. And the biggest threat is greed because when you can't even treat your employees to a sick day, I mean, this is sad, but I don't want to go too far from this. But again, this would this would actually be a good thing for the trucking industry. And let me explain why. Because then the spot prices will go up on freight. So right now the spot freights are down, the spot rates are down, but it would jack them up because now it's like, well, who's going to move this commodity around?
Mm.
Because the freight wouldn't come in. But Biden stepped in and signed some type of law or something. Biden signed in
Sleepy
September. Hmm?
Joe.
You said?
No, I called him Sleepy Joe.
Yeah. Biden came in and he saved it for now, but we will see. But yeah, I mean, if you're a smart president, you cannot let this go down on your watch. But again, this would affect the trucking industry big time because you're talking about there's no intermodal freight moving. So that means no PlayStations, no Xbox, no Air Jordans, none of this stuff would move at that point in time because these people are not working anymore. And
And
this
it's
is dealing with monopolies because what they say, the seven dominant rail yards or railroads. So again, this is everybody combined in one little session. And these people are saying, can you imagine these billionaires sitting around at the table, multimillionaires, and they say, "No, we're not giving y'all one day of sick time, not one."
I can't imagine. I can't imagine that level of greed. I couldn't even have a
Can't
thought of
imagine
that.
it, right?
Nah, it's not. I who would have thought? Who would have thought that the people that are really getting down to the nitty gritty and helping the U.S. move, that y'all can't pay them? I wonder what the average salary is of a person like that. So they've striked basically. They're on strike.
No, it was almost going to strike, but Biden stopped it. So now we're moving on, but we'll talk about it. And this article is from the Trucker. No hours of service exemption for livestock haulers. Listen, Toy, I don't know if you knew about this, but if we have the DOT, the clock, and everything.
Right.
And the only people that were exempt, I'm not gonna say the only, but one of the people we know that was exempt was people who carried livestock. As you can see, the chickens. But anyway, right. So you see that let's get into the article. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration has denied livestock haulers an exemption for hours of service, citing safety concerns. Listen, you know where they're going with that.
But
Uh,
wait, let me make sure I'm understanding what's going
right,
on here. So you
right.
saying the livestock, they can go over their 14-hour clock?
Yes, they can go over. Now, why? I think the reason
Why?
why, well, because they're considered farm. I think it was more connected to the farm. So that I think they were saying like, hey, farmers are not they're not
Driver.
required to stay right. They, I don't know, whatever with farmers. So they was considered a part of that because of the livestock. So
Mm,
yeah, it
huh.
says they analyzed the applications and public comments and has determined that the exemption would not achieve a level of safety that is equivalent to or greater than the level that was achieved absent such exemption. Boy, I don't know what lawyer wrote that. Right. And right, a lawyer. Listen, that was a lawyer right there. Listen, that's that lawyer where you went to negotiate and you
Right.
agreed to everything, and then you find out that you're right, you got nothing. You like, man, what happened? It's like, yeah, you signed up for it. That's that lawyer right there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's that lawyer, man. That lawyer, whatever. Uh, the organization has wanted its drivers to continue operating through the 16th consecutive hour after coming on duty and to drive a total of 15 hours during 16-hour periods, all after 10 consecutive hours of duty. We are concerned that 11 to 14-hour rules were not drafted with livestock haulers in mind and thus do not accommodate the unique character of the loads and natures of the trip. Listen, this is a bunch of talk, but at the end of the day, look at this guy, right? Look at the comment. Guy just came in here. Bruce
The
about to,
cap. He
yeah,
got
Bruce
all
about to put
caps.
it in. Right. Bruce said crooks all across the country. So much for being essential workers. It's a shame. An industry that is given praise when the government deems so, but the rest of the time keeps implementing rules to slow them down. What next does the government want us to drive backwards and lose more money? And how about these truck stops that so-called are on our side? They raise the prices in their stores and expect the drivers to afford them. Cannot wait for better leaders to take over this country. God bless America.
Sounds like a trumper. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, I don't know. Listen,
He laid
Bruce is
all caps on that ass though. He was
listen.
big mad.
I'm trying to tell you, Bruce is hauling them chickens in that.
He definitely is. And he put
Bruce,
bless America. He didn't put that in caps though. Everything else is
no, he
caps.
didn't. And you know what? Bruce is like, I'm sick of this mess. And I agree, man. Like when you think about, what is really being said here.
Yeah, break it down for me because I'm like, yo, fuck. I mean, excuse my language.
Hey,
We
go
gonna
ahead. Go
sleep.
ahead.
I'm thinking, and again, maybe it's me being oblivious to the farmers' disposition over just standard truck drivers, but I don't think anyone should be driving for over 14 hours, especially a long haul. I just on a because it said that they're doing like consistently 11 hours, 11 and 14, and nah,
Yeah,
I don't.
we didn't need to bring one of them people on, man, to be honest with you.
Yes,
Because from my understanding, they fell up on the exemption because it was considered, a part of the farm, because they literally would have to go to a farm to pick up the load. So, it's kind of connected to that. So
but how far are they driving? Are you driving?
listen, somebody must have got into an accident. Somebody must have got caught driving like 70. But you know what? Also, I had already thought about this too. I said, man, if somebody's a true hustler, they could say, hey, let me get your vehicle farm guy and let me run my regular stuff off this thing. You know what I'm saying? You see,
I see. Well,
I could see somebody
know,
violating like that.
it was a I don't know if you've seen these articles, and I don't know if it's connected, but they found I guess it was a bad accident with some pigs or something like that. Did you see that?
I
And
think
the
I did see
pigs
that.
were like squalling all over the place. I
Yeah.
cried. It hurt my little heart. But yeah, so I think I've seen a higher number of incidents where livestock is getting slaughtered on the road because of accidents. So maybe this has something to do with it. It's just hit the fan. They just like, nah, y'all killing too many chickens. Shout out to the
No,
chickens.
shout out to the chicken. Listen,
Shout out
probably the
them.
chickens are from Purdue, Butterball, or Tyson. Yeah, one of those plants. You know what I'm saying? It has to be one of them.
So do you feel they should be exempt because it's foreign? And if yes,
For the
why?
right purposes, yeah, I think they should have put more, qualifications down to make sure that because they could hurt. Farmers are already like, especially if it's a small time farmer, right? It's not one of these big guys out here. They're barely making it, right? But
Oh, I see. You might need to drive
yeah,
back.
he might really need that situation where he need to do it, and they done screwed this guy's business all of a sudden. All right. So next article: two trucks topple off the side of the freeway in two separate wrecks. Now I don't even understand. Like two trucks topple off side of freeway in two separate wrecks. You know what? I think there's a video. Let's.
Let's see.
Oh shit! Oh, I just fucking caught that.
He ain't going nowhere no time soon.
Right. I mean, what happened?
Right.
Man.
I'm trying to see that truck fall over again. Like that was so random.
It
I didn't
would.
even
I mean, but I guess the first one fell off, maybe, right? And then that
oh,
second one fell on top of it. Man, listen, I hope this person in this GMC, I hope they're not in that truck. You see
I
it?
didn't even realize that was right there. Yo, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I hope that
That
person in the GMC is
you
out of.
got double whammy. I
Say it
see. So
again.
maybe the truck fell first from the top. I thought maybe it was
Right.
an accident. Oh wow. And yeah, whatever collision probably happened up top, that truck probably couldn't stop and fell over. That is a
Yeah.
hell of a rollover.
That
Oh
is
my
a hell of a rollover, right? One person was sent to the hospital after two wrecks sent two trucks toppling off the side of a California roadway on Friday morning. The initial wreck was reported at 6:40 a.m. Friday, November 2nd, on the southbound truck route between the 5 freeway and 14 freeway in Newhall Pass near Clarita, sorry, California. I got to work on my Espanol. According to hometown station news, the semi truck reportedly fell through the barrier from the northbound side of the freeway, fell into the truck route below, blocking a tunnel. An off duty officer confirmed there is nobody trapped, no injuries. Great. Around 30 minutes after the first crash, a second truck, this time a box truck driver, went over the side of the northbound freeway and landed on the main crash scene below, crushing an unoccupied SUV in initial wreck. One person was sent to the hospital in unknown condition. No, yeah. So hey,
But
listen.
how did they both? Why would they both slide off that
Listen,
highway? That's
something was going on, right? And you know what? I'm glad that the person who was in that first SUV wasn't in there. And trust me, their car was already totaled anyway.
yeah,
it
it
was over
fell from the
anyway.
first incident.
Yeah,
So
it
that's
was done anyway. Right, but listen, man, oh man. So listen, just be safe out there. As you can see, there's must be something is wrong with that road in itself because
right.
if two trucks slid off the top of the bridge, then then what the heck is going on? So any drivers out there, they might want to just avoid that freeway altogether, you know?
Right, exactly. It's just crazy too. You know, being so engulfed in the trucking industry, I'm so mindful of drivers, of tractor trailer
Right.
drivers. You know what I mean? Very much so. Give them the courtesy of the road, and you'd be surprised how people don't. They just totally disregard them, and you can lose your life.
True.
messing with a truck driver. You know what I
Right.
mean? So we definitely want to give thanks for all you CDL holders out there holding the space for us, getting that freight from state to state. We appreciate that for sure.
Definitely so. Well, I mean, was there any jobs or anything, Toy, that we was that you know that you felt like worthy of being promoted anything?
Well, I'll say on an overview, on a grand level versus like dialing in specifically exactly for a certain area. Right now, if you are a CDL holder anywhere in the 48 contiguous, is that word?
Yeah, yeah, you good. Yeah,
Yeah,
United States. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
anywhere in the United States, and if
Right.
you hold a CDL, doesn't matter if you have a restriction. We do prefer you to have a better and up to par driving record. We can get you home every other weekend. That across the board, that's always available for you. So running
Hmm.
pretty much primarily the East Coast. If you got 3 months experience, definitely give us a call at that 800-887-3010. Once again, we have free job boards at www.truckerjobusa.com. So you can always check out the website again for news, anything pertaining to work, and yeah, just keeping you up on in the CDL world. So yeah, that's what it is, and that's a no touch freight account. So you ain't gotta unload. This is all drop and hook stuff, and you're
Right.
just dealing with private retailers. Just we need you to go pick up at a warehouse and drop off at a retail store or one of the vendors, nonetheless. So yeah, that's what I got. And we'll probably do a deep dive more specifically, like in specific states where we have some local runs, regional runs, semi local, and things of that nature as well. So that's what I got.
Yeah, well, listen, that does it for the trending trucking news. So, hey, I'm Julian, and this is
Latoya.
all right. All right.
TTN. And